Today's video was a little bit challenging, a challenge I set up for myself, admittedly. We're going to talk about eyeshadow sticks. See, we're at that point in the year where some of the new releases, we still have some new releases coming, but some of them have trickled down just a little bit and gotten a little bit more quiet. And that gives me some time to reflect and group releases that happened this year and also throughout many seasons in the beauty industry. And today I thought we would take a look at eyeshadow sticks. And I started by looking at just ones this year, but then I thought, oh, how can I leave it? I ended up trying to make it as inclusive as I possibly could by doing my top 10 favorite eyeshadow sticks of all time. And rather than just naming them, I'm actually going to go out on a limb and rank them 10 through my favorite number 1. So I'm kind of excited about that. And we're going to do that today on Not Fit for Print Beauty here with me, Rebecca. I am a fashion and beauty editor who has spent more than 20 years in the trenches with the biggest names and retailers and makeup artists in the business, but I have brought Not Fit for Print Beauty right here to YouTube so that you have a sort of filmed live beauty magazine to flip through every day or so. Okay, let's get started. This was tough. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. If you were to come and ask me tomorrow, I might change a few things. I really went back and forth. It was quite a challenge. I mean, I did 10 of what I think are the all-time best eyeshadow sticks. Now keep in mind, I didn't do any drugstore just because I don't cover drugstore. Like I know Maybelline and CoverGirl have some really good ones and e.l.f. But I don't do drugstore makeup. Nothing wrong with it. I think it's fantastic. It's just not what I cover. So that's not in there. And you know, there's also some honorable mentions like Fenty has a really good one. And you know, guys, I love Claudio Riaz. You can buy his products at Neiman Marcus and he makes a really good eyeshadow pencil as well. I couldn't get them all in. So I'm going to tell you my top 10 favorite, why they're my top 10 favorite, and I want to see if you agree. Now, this is a community post, so I love to chat with you guys about it, and I would love to hear where you agree and where you disagree and what brands or products that you think I left out as we go along. And I also want you to stop before we go on, pause this video, go down into comments, and tell me what you think my number 1 eyeshadow stick of all time is. Go ahead and tell me. So I'm wondering if you will get it right. There's some iconic ones on this list. Okay, well, let's start with number 10 and let's just aim upwards. My number 10 of all time is the Urban Decay 24/7 Shadow Stick. There's 6 shades about like right now that you can find. I tried to make sure that you could purchase these items now if you wanted to. They are $29 each. Right now it comes in matte, sparkle. These are waterproof and promise 24 hours of wear. I have never worn one for 24 hours, but I have had good luck with them staying on. The reason I made this number 10 is Urban Decay isn't always the most popular brand for any of us, for me included, and for my viewers. So its brand kind of stuck it more towards the bottom. But Urban Decay has some things they really did well. We all loved their original Naked palettes for sure. And they make great sparkle eyeshadow, and I've done so well with it. And they also make a very good eyeshadow pencil. There are hundreds of these on the market. So to make my number 10 slot is pretty good. Number 9, a really good one. Number 9 is a good spot. If you haven't tried this, I really suggest that you do. It's the Rephr Beauty All of the Above Weightless Eyeshadow Stick. These are $22 and there's about 6 shades. And it says there's some others, but about 6 shades. They are all shimmer, so they can work as a highlighter. They can work as a liner. You can use any of these eyeshadow sticks that I'm mentioning as a base, but with the all shimmer ones, they're kind of nicer. I like to use the rare ones in the inner corner of any look. You know, you can even, in a pinch, use this as in the waterline. You can even use it a little bit as a highlighter, not this shade in particular. But, you know, it's a really nice eyeshadow stick. Nice and creamy, nice long wear, and not too many shades where it gets confusing. But Rephr Beauty is my number 9. Number 8, you know, any of these that you want, where I can, I'm going to stick them up here with timestamps in YouTube shopping on the screen, but they'll also be down below so you can peruse them, you can take a look at them, whatever you want. Okay, number 8, I had almost forgotten about this. I admit I had almost forgotten about this one. I haven't reached for it in a while, but it's a very good one. Number 8 is by Nars, and that is the Nars Total Seduction Eyeshadow Stick. These are $32 and come in 7 shades. The eyeshadow pencils from Nars are all matte, and they use what's called a Flex Lock technology that makes them really nice and creamy with a nice glide, but they really stay put for about 16 hours, the brand promises, and I have never had one fail me. These are great as a base because they're all matte. They're really nice to just use all over the eye and blend in, and then you really have a nice flat matte base for whatever eyeshadow you want to put over it. The reason it's number 8, and I love Nars, you guys know I love Nars. The reason it's number 8 is I do admit I had forgotten it existed. I admit that. I was kind of looking through my products and I went, oh my goodness, that's right. And I used to like these. So I'm going to use them again, probably because they're all matte and I don't generally prefer an all matte look, but really reliable as a base. 16 hours wear. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no lies there. So try that one out. Number 7. Now, if you see my number 7 pick, please tell it to come home. I don't know where I placed them, so I'll put a picture on the screen. Number 7 is Nudestix Magnetic Eye Color. These are $27. Nudestix does it right. Now, Nudestix has a bunch of different types of eyeshadow sticks. Some are liners, sticks. I chose the Nudestix Magnetic Eye Color. They have 12 satin shades and 9 matte shades. They can also work as a primer, especially the matte shades, $27. Nudestix has a beautiful formula. They don't get a lot of critical acclaim for some reason, but my viewers who love Nudestix are really committed and diehard fans of the brand, and they do make an absolutely beautiful product, especially their cream shadow sticks and liners. They just really do a nice job with it. So Nudestix has a very respectable on my list, number 7. Number 6, we're going to start maybe getting a little bit more she here. Number 6 is actually what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. This is a multi-purpose stick, and it is from Chanel. The Chanel Ombre et Contour. It's $38, and right now has about 10 shades. I say right now because Chanel will do limited edition versions of this in crazy colors. They always have their certain colors in stock, but they will change it up for the season. This is a 3-in-1 eye pencil, so this will line on the eyes in the waterline. It will also, I used it today with I put a little bronzer in the crease, and then I used this particular one on my entire lid. So this has a few different ways, gives you some play time, and then it sets, but can also, a lot of people never use this on the lid. They literally just use it as a liner. So it's kind of a 3-in-1. Theoretically, any liner you want, you could use over your whole eye, but the Chanel is not, it's chunky, but not too chunky. It kind of lends itself to being a 3-in-1, and there's so many different colors, and it's very chic because it's Chanel. Number 5 is a product I very rarely use anymore, but it does have iconic status. By the way, when you go down below to see all these and peruse them, you can also get information on our Facebook page. It's totally free, and Helen runs it. She does a great job over there. You can also come over and stay right here on YouTube, and we have our own membership here for $4.99 a month. All proceeds go back to the channel, and we have weekly lives that I lead. We have a lot of fun with that, but you can also find out down below how to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok and how to give super thanks and all that good stuff. All right, number 5 is iconic. Some of you might have thought I'd put this higher up, but it is the Charlotte Tilbury Color Chameleon, 9 shades, $29. This was one of the first eyeshadow pencils I ever really truly fell in love with. This is does not wind up. It's a traditional wooden, chunky, chubby little stick, and you got to sharpen it with a sharpener that has a larger area for pencils to go in. It is, a lot of them have some sort of shimmer in them, so you don't always want to use them on the waterline. You can. It just kind of depends how daring you are. This one is a great base for other eyeshadow. The other reason I put it up as high as number 5 because I think it's an iconic hero product for Charlotte Tilbury that you don't see her bringing about much anymore, but also because I do have a lot of viewers that tell me that this creases like heck on them. So I couldn't put it over number 5, but I really felt it kind of deserved. It's an iconic, like I said, a hero product for Charlotte Tilbury. All right, let's do our top 4 now. This is where we're getting into the nitty gritty, and I do have some trendier, newer ones on here. Number 4, I have given that honor to Victoria Beckham Beauty. This is her eyewear stick, $34, lasts 8 hours, and comes in 10 shades. Now, with Victoria Beckham Beauty, it was kind of interesting. We spoke about the Chanel liner, that it could be a liner and it could be an eyeshadow stick. And I will say this, most of Victoria Beckham Beauty's satin kajal liners, they're thin, but they're so creamy that I'll do an entire eye look with them, and I think it's beautiful. But I didn't put that on the list because her brand does have a totally separate eyewear product that is solely an eyeshadow stick. This one comes, like I said, in 10 shades, and they are some of the most beautiful shades, shimmers and mattes, and I mean, this is just one of them. They're really practical, good, and 8 hours of wear, which I kind of like. When a brand promises 24 hours of wear, to me, they might as well promise 10 days of wear. I just feel like it's not going to happen. And I get what a brand's doing when they say 24 hours. I get what they're doing. They're letting you know that they're going to be your ride or die eyeshadow stick. But 8 hours, to me, ends up being more believable. And perhaps that's just a psychological aspect of it. But I do really like these guys. They're $34 though. It's pricey. In fact, all the next are very pricey. Number 3, we're getting into our top 3 here. This is where it started. You know, it's tricky here. Our top 3, number 3 is the Hourglass Voyeur eyeshadow stick. It is $34. Comes in 7 shades. These are crease resistant. I do find that to be true. They are all metallic. And I like those. I think these are really pretty and festive, especially as we get into the holiday season. I will tell you that with Hourglass and Victoria Beckham, they were released around the same time, and I went back and forth as to whether this was 3 or 4, and as to whether the Victoria Beckham was 4 or 3. I ended up with this in my top 3 because it's all metallic. I'm feeling celebrational. But I got to tell you, if you asked me tomorrow, I might put this as number 4 and Victoria Beckham as number 3. In fact, I'm kind of second guessing that right now. Almost too close to call with those 2. All right, the top 2 should be anyone's top 2. I'm not sure on the order. Just like my Hourglass and Victoria Beckham, you could probably switch the order here, but I'll tell you what I did, and you probably guessed. My number 2, might be some people's number 1. It was my number 2, is the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick Cream Eyeshadow. This is an iconic product. It's a hero product for Laura Mercier. $33. Anywhere, usually about 25 shades available. They do some that are special edition, but generally there's about 25 shades. Massive product for Laura Mercier. In matte, shimmer, these are waterproof. They last 24 hours, they actually do. This is a great product. Any shade that you're looking for, you're bound to find it here. Like I said, they do some different releases, it is a hero product for Laura Mercier. I know a lot of my viewers don't buy Laura Mercier anything, but oftentimes they're loose powder, very iconic for that, and their Caviar Stick Cream Eyeshadow, a very famous product for the brand. This brings us to number 1, and that means you probably guessed it. A lot of people would put Laura Mercier as their number 1, and I wouldn't blame you, but I gave my number 1 spot to what I feel, and you're welcome to argue with me, to what I feel is the most iconic, the most important eyeshadow stick on the market, and that is the Bobbi Brown Longwear Waterproof Eyeshadow Stick. I actually am holding a mini. I have these everywhere. They're all over my beauty room. I grab them and I use them all the time. So there's 2 versions of this. There is the dual-ended version, which is really cool. That's $42 generally, and it's always kind of as a matte on one side and a shimmer on the other, so it's like a complete eye look. I love the dual-ended. But what's most famous are, and there's only like 6 shades in the dual-ended at any given time, but most famous are the 27 shades of the single-sided $34 Longwear Waterproof Eyeshadow. These come in metallic, but they also come in shimmer. shimmer as different than metallic. A lot of brands have either a shimmer or a metallic. Bobbi Brown does both, shimmer, metallic, and of course matte. So many shades to choose from. To me, it is the easiest to work with, the creamiest, the prettiest, the most amount of shades, the most versatile, the most forgiving when you're working with it, but then sets and is budge proof more than any others. To me, Bobbi Brown really does deserve the #1 slot for their longwear waterproof cream eyeshadow, but others might have put Laura Mercier in that top one. Did you guess correctly? My guess is that you guessed, I would say Laura Mercier or Bobbi Brown. Those are really the two biggest, though I chose to wear Chanel for the video. I want to know what yours are. What did I leave out? I gave you my honorable mentions. We have Fenty, we have Claudio Riaz. What did I miss? Because I know there's some good ones out there that I missed. Interestingly enough, I really didn't see any really good ones from Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona. I thought, am I leaving them out? But not really. Who did I leave out? What sort of travesty am I committing where you're going to watch this and go, how could you not have said fill in the blank? So this is where you come in. It's not just about me yapping at you. It's kind of fun. We're getting towards the end of the year. Let's do a bunch of these different compilations. I've got one coming up with cool tone eyeshadow palettes if you want to make any suggestions down below so that I don't leave it out. Plus, of course, coming up on this channel, we also still have a lot of new products to talk about, including from Auric and from Viseart and a bunch of others. So I do still have some new product reviews coming up. Also, we're going to try to do, if we can, our end of the year best of as a Google form. Because I've had a lot of people request that, and especially those who watch this channel just on their phone. Hard to copy and paste, easier to click and go over to a Google form. So that's going to be coming soon too, our community best of that I do every year. This will be the 5th year of doing it. Wow. So lots of good stuff coming up on this channel, but I need you now to weigh in on your favorite or favorites in the cream eyeshadow stick category, including if it's beauty, including if it's drugstore. I'm all for that too. All right, let me know, and please remember that the kindest thing you can do for me is to subscribe. It really helps me grow, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.